Hello, Internet. I'm back. Last time on stream, I was defeated by trying to stretch out a pack of strings for 2 ukuleles. And today, I finally have strings that have come in, and it's time to string these bad boys. I've got a couple other guitars that we could potentially work on. Plus, my apprentice turned me on to Valorant, and I want to check it out and play it a little bit. So, you know, stick with me, and we'll do this.
We have a uke. We have a uke. We have a couple ukes, actually. We have a couple ukes that we need to go through. So last time, I was defeated by a single string on the uke. We just need the first string. Then I can keep some spares. Just need this first string. Here we go. Perfect. Let's get this guy on here. Ah, get in there. Get in the hole. Go. There we go. It was fighting me. We want to go this way? Yeah, we want to go this way. Okay, so I'm going to loop it under to get it over. And we're going that way. Let's see here. One loop. Two loops. Three loops. Okay. And this should be plenty. String. We'll stick this guy in here. Pull it kind of tight. Anyway. Is it A? G. This one's done. Just gonna clip that string. And that's it. There we go. You done. Oh, yeah, let's cut down here. Just get that guy right about there. There we go. Across the board. One uke down. One more to go. Let's get this guy out. Perfect. Let's take this ribbon off. It's going to be in the way. Oh, jeez. I don't know what it is about uke owners, but they always try to find new ways to improvise a strap for their instrument. And a ribbon, I have to say, that's a new one for me. I haven't seen that much. Not because no one's ever thought of it, but I think just because it seems like a very uncomfortable option. Like a really uncomfortable option. But I don't know, you know, to each their own, I guess. Anything crazy. There we go. It's off. Yeah, these are like the strings that came on it, I think. That's what they feel like. They feel like, I don't know, like stiff. Stiff and brittle. Smooth, yeah, that's weird. Doesn't feel right. These strings feel like hard plastic, like it's just made out of like PVC pipe or something. Strung out PVC pipe. Could definitely use some freshening up. We'll just steel wool. Just so you can kind of see, like, that's tarnished, no reflection. These are shiny. Just a little bit of steel wool, not a lot of effort. Just go in, kind of just polish the frets a little bit. I'm trying to do it off the table so that I don't get metal shavings on my table. But basically, I'm just going in an up and down motion like that. With the steel wool. Use a magnet, pick all that dust off. Metal dust. Oh, you know what? Real quick. I did the magnet, but let me just do a quick little. The trusty paintbrush. Okay, let's see. There we go. So I'm just going to dab it instead of just wiping it. I'm going to dab it so that I get like a nice kind of like thick coat of this oil just sitting on the surface. You'll know you did it right if you see like kind of, I guess, like little ridges of texture where the oil is just like unevenly spread, but you know you got it fully covered. It's just kind of glopped on there, and you kind of dab it. And so we're going to let that just sit for a second. And actually, I'll take some of that excess oil from that. I'm going to wipe that on the bridge here. Because on acoustic instruments, typically the instrument will have finish, but the fretboards, if it's rosewood or whatever kind of wood like that, it's not going to have finish on there, but it's also not going to have finish on the bridge. So it's good to, like, you know, every once in a while oil it up just like you would oil up your fretboard. Really waking it up. And this oil that I'm using is also a polish. So all that excess, instead of wiping it off on a finish like this, where it's like a matte, like wooden style grain finish, I would just rub this on. It works into the grain, it's a polish. There we go. Let's get the back of the neck a little. This thing's going to look and feel renewed. Okay, and now we'll wipe off all that excess. Okay. Now take a rag typically a rag that you would, if you're going to use it for like doing this type of process over and over, you want to have a rag that you specifically wipe oil off with. Not on, but off. You kind of wash it every once in a while. But so we're going to use that to rub off the polish that we just rubbed all over the body with the microfiber. I'm just going to go and just rub that nice. We'll get like a nice polish. Excellent. That's how you want it to feel. There we go. Still a little presence of oil, but that's okay. Good. It smells good. I love using this stuff. This is the stuff I use. People ask me this all the time. It's Howard Feed and Wax. It's a beeswax and orange peel oil. That's what the label looks like. It's available at Home Depot. Most of the time you'll find it at Home Depot. It's going to be like in either the paint section or somewhere near the woodworking section. Not necessarily the lumber, but like woodworking tools and stuff like that. Depending on like how big the Home Depot is or the hardware store that you're at. But when you're stringing a ukulele, by the way, with these guitar tuners, the guitar tuners are not like an ideal tuner for a ukulele, but they're cheap and readily available, so people use them. And I don't judge that, but there's not a lot to that radius. So strings just going to go around and wind and wind and wind. It's better to have it set up more like a classical guitar with like a bigger tuners. That tuning post, that radius, it's way bigger. That's what ukuleles really need. Okay, that's better. Usually when I get a ukulele, people bring their own strings. She brought her own strings. It was a single pack. She thought that we could potentially stretch it out to the two instruments. In my attempt to do that, one of the strings I ended up cutting a little too short, and it failed. And so my conclusion was to string one of these properly and do it well. I wouldn't want to spend the extra time to finick with it and try to make it so that I could stretch it out and make it two strings. Now, it would be cool if like a company did that, like a string pack where it was a little longer, and they maybe like, you know how they put color on the strings? Maybe they put color on the center of the string, and they just tell you, okay, well, this is like a length for two. But you always want some extra slack. You want extra slack down here. You want extra slack over here on this side, because especially on tuners like this string is going to slip all the time. In fact, I'm going to give it back to the owner, and all of these ones are knotted. But I totally would believe her if she told me that the G or the A slipped and she had to like tune it, and that's fine. And also the other thing is that these strings are kind of going to stretch out over time as well. So if the next time I see this instrument or whatnot down the line, all of these winds will probably be deeper. It'll probably be 3 or 4 more winds, because over time it'll just get flat, and you gotta tighten it up again, and it'll get flat and tighten up again, and slowly the strings are going to stretch and stretch. That's 2 ukuleles done.